Hello students. In the last session, we have studied about the fundamental quantities and their SI units. There are 7 base units in SI systems corresponding to the fundamental quantities or 7 physical quantities. So, the 7 physical quantities are length, mass, time, temperature, electric current, amount of substance and luminous intensity, and their corresponding units are known as the base SI units. In addition to this, we have also studied the SI units of other physical quantities. They are volume, density, force, pressure, then energy. So, now and also we have studied about the temperature, the units of temperature. The temperature is expressed in terms of Kelvin, degree Celsius and Fahrenheit. Temperature is expressed in terms of Kelvin, degree Celsius and degree Fahrenheit. Then we also studied or we learned the relationship between degree Celsius and Kelvin, the degree Celsius and Fahrenheit. So, degree Celsius is related to Kelvin scale like this. So, this Kelvin is denoted by capital K. This is equal to degree Celsius plus 273. Then, so degree Fahrenheit, this is related to degree Celsius as 9/5 of degree Celsius plus 32. Now let us consider conversions of temperature from degree Celsius to Kelvin and degree Celsius to Fahrenheit. So convert 25 degree Celsius to Kelvin. Convert 25 degree Celsius to Kelvin. Now use this relation. Use the relation Kelvin is equal to degree Celsius plus 273. So Kelvin is equal to degree Celsius. How many degrees are given here? 25 degree Celsius. So 25 degree Celsius plus 273. So this is equal to 298 Kelvin. So 25 degree Celsius is equal to 298 Kelvin. Then this Kelvin is also the SI unit of temperature. Then, so convert this into 25 degree Celsius to degree Fahrenheit. This is the first conversion and this is the second conversion. Convert 25 degree Celsius to degree Fahrenheit. What is the relationship between degree Celsius and Fahrenheit? So, degree Fahrenheit is equal to 9/5 of degree Celsius plus 32. The temperature is 25 degree Celsius. So, therefore, I will write here 25 plus 32. So, 5 ones are 5 5s are 9 5s are. So, this is equal to 45 plus 32. So, this is equal to 77 degree Fahrenheit. So 25 degree Celsius is equal to 77 degree Fahrenheit. Now convert the third type of problem is convert 98.4 degree Fahrenheit to degree Celsius. Degree Celsius. Again, I will use this relation. Degree Fahrenheit is equal to 9 by 5 of degree Celsius plus 32. Substitute degree Fahrenheit. So that is 98.4 degree Fahrenheit. So this is equal to 9 by 5 of degree Celsius plus 32. Now transfer this 32 to the LHS. Then 98.4 minus 32 is equal to 9 by 5 of degree Celsius. So this is equal to 66.4. 98.4 minus 32, this is equal to 66.4. So this is equal to 9 by 5 of degree Celsius, or degree Celsius is equal to degree Celsius is equal to 5 into 66.4 divided by 9. So after simplifying this, you will get this 36.88 degree Celsius. So in this way, we can convert 98.5 degree Fahrenheit to degree Celsius. So in chemistry, we will come across with very large numbers like Avogadro's number and very small mass of atoms and molecules. During the addition of these masses or number of molecules, we will face a difficulty. So therefore, a new representation is used, that is scientific notation. In order to simplify the large numbers and very small masses, so they are expressed in terms of scientific notation. Just like very large number like Avogadro's number, its value is 6.022 into 10 power 23. That is 1 mole of any substance that contains Avogadro number of particles. The value of Avogadro's number is 6.022 into 10 power 23. Then the masses of atoms, they are very small. So therefore, during the addition, multiplication, so they are represented in the form of scientific notation. Then what is meant by scientific notation? So scientific notation is the exponential notation in which any number can be represented in the form of n into 10 power n. n into 10 power n, where n is the exponent. Where n is the exponent. Where n is the exponent having positive or negative values. Negative values. Then n is the number. N is the capital N. This is small n. Small n represents the exponent. Then what are the possible values of this small n? So this n having positive or negative values. Then capital N, simply, so this is the number varies between, so 1 to 10. So varies between 1 to 10. So this form, the representation of number in this form is known as scientific notation. Then I will tell once again what is scientific notation. Scientific notation is the exponential notation in which any number can be represented in the form of n into 10 to the power n. So here n is the exponent having positive or negative values. The exponent, it is represented by the small letter n. Then capital N, represents the number, its value varies between 1 to 10. So now I have to express the number in the scientific form, that is 3045.89. This number is to be expressed in terms of scientific notation. So therefore, the n value, the capital N value should be between 1 to 10. So therefore, in this number, I have to shift the decimal point after 3 digits. So therefore, 3.04589 into 10 power. So this decimal point is shifted to the left by 3 digits. So therefore, 3 is the exponent of 10 in scientific notation. So therefore, this number in the scientific notation becomes 3.0589 into 10 to the power 3. So this number is represented in the form of scientific notation as 3.04589 into 10 power 3. So while writing the scientific notation for this number, this decimal point has to be moved or shifted left to the left side. So then, how many digits this decimal point is moved or shifted? So 3 digits. So therefore, 3 is the exponent of 10 in the scientific notation. So similarly, we can write, so 437.5.6. So this is in scientific notation becomes, so here there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 digits. This point has to be moved to after 4. So therefore, how many digits or how many places are moved? There are 4 places. So therefore, 4 is the exponent of 10 in the scientific notation. So therefore, 4.037 5, 6 into 10 power 4. So this is the scientific notation of the number 40375.6. So if the number is like this 0.00256, then this number is to be expressed in terms of scientific notation. So now this point, decimal point, to be moved after 2. So therefore this decimal point is moved how many digits to the right? They are 1, 2, 3, 4. So therefore I will write as 2.56 into what is the exponent of 10. So here the point is moved 4 digits to the right. So therefore 4 is the minus 4 is the exponent of 10. So this is the scientific notation of this number 0.000256 in the scientific notation becomes 2.56 into 10 power minus 4. So I will write one more example, that is 0.00032. So write this number in the scientific notation. So here is the decimal point. This has to be moved after 3. So therefore 3.2 into how many digits to be moved this decimal point? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So therefore this decimal point is moved towards the right side. So therefore this becomes 10 to the power 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 power minus 5. So this is the scientific notation of the number 0.00032. So from these two examples we can say that if the decimal point is moved to the left, then the exponent of 10 is positive. The exponent of 10 is positive. So in the second example, if the decimal point is moved towards the right, the exponent of the 10 is negative. So therefore in this example the exponent of 10 is minus 4. In the second example the exponent of 10 is minus 5. So this is about scientific notation. So then we can say that what is scientific notation? It is the exponent notation. It is the exponent notation in which any number can be represented in the form of n into 10 power n. So n into 10 power n. So where n is known as exponent, having the values of positive or negative. Then this capital N value, it's a number, it varies between 1 and 10. So from these example we can say that the N value varies between n and 10. So after the scientific notation, so what are precision and accuracy? What are precision, accuracy and significant figures? So while doing an experiment, so different values are obtained in different trials. Are they in consistent or different, or the result of the experiment is accurate or not, or the result of the experiment is precise or not. So that can be explained with the help of precision. Precision and accuracy. Precision and accuracy. Then what is meant by precision and what is meant by accuracy? Precision means it refers to the closeness of various measurements for the same quantity, which means that, so in order to explain this precision, I will consider one example. Now I have asked the 3 students to measure the thickness of the magnesium ribbon or the length of the magnesium ribbon. Magnesium ribbon. So the mass of magnesium ribbon is 2 grams. The mass of magnesium ribbon is 2 grams. Now I have asked the 3 students to measure the length of the magnesium ribbon. Its true value, actual value is 2 grams. The first student measures the length of the magnesium ribbon and reports the result as 1.95. He will do 2 measurements. In the first measurement, he reports the length of the magnesium ribbon is 1.95. Or now I have considered the mass of the magnesium ribbon. So therefore, the first student takes the measurement and reports this mass is 1.95 grams in the first measurement. In the second measurement, he reports 1.93 grams. That is the mass of the magnesium ribbon. Then second student, again he measures the mass of the same magnesium ribbon as 1.94 grams. 1.94 grams. And in the second measurement, he reports 2.01 grams. 2.01 grams. The third student measures the mass of the magnesium ribbon and reports in the first report as 2.01, and in the second measurement he reports 1.99 grams. Then what is the average of these two masses? This is equal to 1.94. Add these two numbers and divide it by 2. Then you will get 1.94 as the average mass of the magnesium ribbon. In the second student, that is, he measures the mass of the magnesium ribbon as 1.94 and 2.01 grams. So then the third student measures the mass of magnesium ribbon as 2.01 and 1.99 grams. Now come on, tell me, so which measurements are precise and which measurements are accurate? Now I will tell once again what is precision. The closeness of the various measurements. Closeness of the various measurements for the same quantity. for the same quantity. Same quantity means this is the mass of magnesium ribbon, that is 2 grams. But the first student reports that in the first measurement, the mass of the magnesium ribbon is 1.9 grams. In the second measurement, he reports the mass of magnesium ribbon is 1.93 grams, and these two measurements are various measurements of the same quantity, that is magnesium ribbon, mass of magnesium ribbon, but the actual value is 2 grams. But he reports that 1.95 in the first measurement, 1.93 in the second measurement. So then, are they precise or accurate? So on observing these two values, it's clear that these two measurements are close to one another. These two values are close to one another. Therefore, we can say that these two values are precise. These two values are precise. Next, coming to the second student measurements. The second student reports in the first measurement as 1.94 grams is the mass of magnesium ribbon. In the second measurement, he reports 2.01 gram is the mass of magnesium ribbon. So then, tell me, are they precise or accurate? Then, so these two are neither precise nor accurate. These two measurements are not precise. Next, coming to the third student measurements. So, third student reports in the first measurement the mass of the magnesium ribbon as 2.01 gram, and in the second measurement he reports 1.99 grams as the second measurement. And observing these two values, so these are precise. These two readings are precise in nature. So therefore, we can say that what is precision? The closeness of various measurements. The closeness of various measurements for the same quantity. For the same quantity means, in this example, the mass of the magnesium ribbon, that is 2 grams. So, for this same quantity, the two measurements are done. They are close to one another. So, therefore, these two measurements are precise. These two measurements are precise. Next, coming to the second student's measurement, 1.94 in the first measurement and 2.01 in the second measurement. These two values are not close to this value. So, therefore, they are not precise. The third student measurements are 2.01 and 1.99. So, these two values are close to each other. So, therefore, these are also precise. So, therefore, what is precision? It refers to the closeness of various measurements for the same quantity. Now, what is meant by accuracy? What is meant by accuracy? So, accuracy is the closeness of the particular value to the true value. Accuracy is the closeness of a particular value to the closeness of a particular value to the true value or measured value. Now, let us consider these two these examples. So, these two are precise in nature, but they are not accurate. So, the second student measurements are neither precise nor accurate, but the third students, the measurements they are precise as well as accurate. They are precise as well as accurate. So, then what is meant by accuracy? Accuracy is the closeness of the measured value to the true value. So, these two are close to the true value, the actual value of the magnesium ribbon, that is 2 grams. So, therefore, these two measurements are precise but not accurate, So, these two measurements are neither precise nor accurate. Then these two measurements are precise as well as accurate. Next, the one more term, that is significant. Significant figures. Then what is meant by significant figures? In the calculated or the experimental value, there is an uncertainty. This uncertainty in the measured or calculated value is indicated by mentioning the significant figures. So, therefore, the significant figures means these are the meaningful digits in the measured value. So, what are significant figures? These are the meaningful digits in the measured value. So, there are certain errors in the measured or experimental values. They are indicated by significant figures. So, therefore, significant figures are the meaningful digits in the measured value. So, for example, the result from an experiment is 14.2 ml. The result from an experiment, this indicates that the result is 14.2 ml. So, in this result, this 14 is certain and the 2 is uncertain. The 14 is certain and 2 is uncertain. Means the volume obtained from an experiment may be less than 14.3 or it is more than 14 point less than. So, this volume should be less than 14.3 or. So, this is more than 4.1. This value should be more than 14.1. So, therefore, these significant, in order to determine the significant figures, different rules are used in order to determine the significant figures. Significant figures means the meaningful digits in the, these are the numbers represent the meaningful digits in the measured value. So, therefore, certain rules are used in determining the significant figures. So rules used in the determination of significant figures, they are, the first rule is all non-zero digits are, all non-zero digits, all non-zero digits are significant, are significant. All non-zero digits are significant. Example, for example, so 235 grams. So in this number, all the numbers are non-zero other than 0. All the three numbers are significant. So therefore, what is the significant figure? How many significant figures are there in this number? So significant, there are 3 significant figures. There are 3 significant figures. In this number, all the numbers are non-zero numbers. So therefore, there are 3 significant figures. The second example is 0.25 ml. So in this number, how many significant figures are there? So there are 2 significant figures. There are 2 significant figures. The second rule is the zeros preceding to the first number are non-significant, are not significant. So zeros preceding to the first non-zero number is non-significant. For example, 0.03. In this number, how many significant figures are there? So there are only 1 significant figure, because this decimal point, so that is the zeros indicates the decimal point. So therefore, the zeros preceding to the first non-zero number are not significant. So therefore, how many significant figures are there in this number? Means 1 significant figure. So these 2 zeros are not significant. Means these 2 modalige baruvantaha zeros, they are not significant before the number 3. Then one more example, 0.002. So in these examples, how many significant figures are there? So only 1 significant figure is present. So only 1 significant figure is present. So hagadre second rule ಏನು ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದರೆ, the zeros preceding to the first number are not significant. Such zeros indicates the decimal point. Such zeros indicates the decimal point. So then the third rule says that the zeros between the non-zero digits are significant. The zeros between the any two numbers are significant. For example, 2.008. 2.008. How many significant figures are there in this number? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 significant figures are present in this number. Then the fourth rule, the zeros at the end. The zeros at the end are the numbers which are the number at the right side of the number. The zeros at the end are to the right side of the number are significant. The zeros at the end are to the right side of the number are significant, provided they contain decimal point. Provided they contain decimal point. So, for example, 0 point, I will write the fourth rule here. The example is 0.200. The zeros at the end are to the right side of the number. So, these two zeros are present at the right side of this number. Then as a whole, these two zeros are present at the end of the number, at the end of this number. Therefore, these two zeros are all significant provided they have a decimal point. Provided they have the decimal point. The non-terminal are the zeros present at the terminal point. The zeros present at the terminal point are not significant provided there is no decimal point. For example, 100. There is no decimal point. So, this number contains two terminal zeros but not decimal point. So, therefore, how many significant figures are present in this number? That is 1. So, this number contains zeros at the end, but there is no decimal point. So, this can write as 100 point. Then this contains a point. How many significant figures are present? There are 3 significant figures. Then this is 100.0. Then this contains 4 significant figures. So, the terminal zeros are not significant if there is no decimal point. But in the second example, this contains a decimal point. Therefore, all the 3 digits are significant. The significant figure is 3. So, in the third example, 100.0, this contains how many digits? 4 digits. So, therefore, how many significant figures are present in this number? There are 4. So, these numbers can also write in the form of scientific notation, or so this can write as 1 into 10 power 2. 1 into 10 power 2. So, this contains how many significant figures? So, only one significant figure. This is also written in this form, 1.0 into 10 to the power 2. So, how many significant figures are present? So, they are 2. So, then this is also right in this form, that is 1.00 into 10. The number of significant figures are 3. The number of significant figures are 3. So, this is about the rules used in assigning the significant figures. The first rule is all non-zero digits are significant. All non-zero digits are significant. Then in the second rule, the zeros preceding to the first non-zero digit. First non-zero digit, they are not significant. They are not significant. Such zeros only indicate the position of the decimal point. The zeros between the two non-zero digits are significant. So in this example 2.008, the zeros lies between the two non-zero digits. So therefore the number of significant figures is equal to 4. Then the fourth rule says that the zeros at the end are to the right of a number if they provided with a decimal point are significant. So the zeros at the terminal end are not significant if there is no decimal point. So in this example, the 100, it has no decimal point. So therefore the number of significant figures in this number is 1. So then this can write as 100 point. So 100 point. So how many significant figures are there? There are 3 significant figures. Then 100.0, that is equal to 4. How many significant figures are there? 4 significant figures are present. So this 100 can also write as 1 into 10 power 2. The number of significant figures is 1. Then 1 into 10 power, this can write in another form as 1.0 into 10 to the power 2. So how many significant figures are there? There are 2 significant figures, 1.00 into 10 to the power 2. Significant figures are 3. Then the last one is the numbers written in the scientific notation. Numbers written in the scientific notation. The numbers written in the scientific notation, all the digits are significant. All the digits are significant. So that is the fifth rule. The number written in the scientific notation. Written in the scientific notation. All the digits are significant. For example, 6.022 into 10 power 23. 6.022 into 10 power 23. How many digits are present in this number? There are 4 digits. So therefore, what is the significant figure of this number? That is 4. Then the last rule is the counting numbers. The counting numbers, for example, 20 balls. 20 balls and 2 eggs and 2 eggs. These counting numbers have indefinite, means unlimited significant figures. Unlimited or indefinite significant figures. So because they are exact numbers, they can be represented. They can be represented by putting indefinite zeros after the decimal. So therefore 20.000, So similarly, 2 can write as 2.000. The counting numbers. So counting numbers 22. So they have indefinite, unlimited, significant figures. Indefinite significant figures because they are exact numbers and they can be represented by adding zeros after the decimal point. So this 20 can write as 20.0000. So this number has indefinite or unlimited zeros. So this is about the rules used in the determination of significant figures. So they are, the first one is all non-zero digits are significant. The second rule is the zeros preceding to the non-zero digit are not significant. The zeros preceding to the first non-zero digit are not significant. The third rule says that the zeros between the two non-zero digits are significant. So the zeros at the end or to the right side of the decimal point. Zeros at the end or to the right side of the number if they contain or if there is a decimal point, then they are significant. The terminal zeros are not significant provided there is no decimal point. So then in the scientific notation, the numbers written in the scientific notation, all the digits are significant. The numbers or the digits present in the number are significant. So this is the example. Next, the last one is the counting numbers that such as 20 balls or 2 eggs have infinite or unlimited significant figures. Unlimited significant big figures because they are exact numbers and can be represented, and they are represented by putting infinite number of zeros. Therefore, this 20 can write as 20 is equal to 20.0000 or 2, this is equal to 2.0000 like this. So this completes about the precision, accuracy and significant figures. So therefore, the significant figures are the meaningful digits in the measured value.